So for our strength move, lying on the front, working the core, we're going to do the Sphinx, and I'm also going to do another thing we've tried in class back in February, March, whenever we last saw each other, which is a combination of a press up with a shell stretch, moving from one to the other and back again, which I rather quite like. It's a sort of seesaw effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate Sphinx for a minute and then seesaw, if we'll call it that, for a minute. But you are obviously welcome to do either or for 2 minutes, or even do one of the straight leg options which we've done before, where you're in that sort of position. So first of all, the Sphinx you're all pretty much familiar with. Elbows under shoulders, knees sloping back, and you can bring the feet up if you want. The main thing is just keeping your back nice and flat and doing that for a minute. And the seesaw, start with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, so a box shape, and then you go elbows back, chest between the hands, that's your press up, and then you go back into shell stretch. So it's press up and shell. Okay, so I'm going to time you. Ready? Sphinx position, go. Breathe, 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 breathe. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Tummy pulling up, tight as you can. Power breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. That's 30 seconds. You can go into full plank. Put the knees back down. Knees back up. So that's the first minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second minute, I'm going to change to press up shell stretch. Elbows go back. And then shell stretch. "30 seconds gone." Last one. And finish off with shell stretch. So next we're going to do glute work. Glute work, keeping the core engaged. So the one I'm going to do today is the Dorothy, as in tap your heels together 3 times. This is quite an intense one because it works the glutes and it also works inner thighs, front thighs, core. So 4 muscle groups all being worked: stomach, inner thighs, front thighs, glutes. Front thighs, keep your legs straight. Inner thighs, obviously, squeezing in. And glutes for the position that you're going to be in, and core to protect your lower back. Some people have told me that they need to actively concentrate on inner thigh. So do actively squeeze the inner thigh to make sure you are using it for this move. So lying on your front, again, obviously if you prefer hands and knee options or elbow options, please do. Right, I better shuffle out so you can see my feet. Doesn't matter if you see my head. What matters is the feet today for this move. So first of all, you start off lying down flat, forehead resting on your hands or resting on something like a cushion or a block. Okay, so that's your position, and then your feet are about hip distance apart, and then tighten up the knees. So knees come off. Not a very good choice of trousers today. Knees come off the floor, and then you squeeze the heels together. So this is the bit when they don't have to touch, just squeezing them inwards, leaving the toes where they are. So you squeeze inwards, and that's where the inner thigh comes in. And squeeze, I do 3 squeezes before relaxing. Squeeze, and then release, release, release the feet, have a little rest. So first of all, pull your tummy in, lie flat, forehead down on the floor. Curl the toes under, one at a time. Tighten up the front of your thigh and lift the knees off. Hips must stay on the floor. Squeeze the heels inwards. If there's a lot of weight on your toes, squeeze your tummy and your bottom harder and allow the toes to be relatively light. Keep the legs straight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then release the knees, release the feet. Breathe in, do it all again. First, curl the toes under, tummy tight. Tighten up the knees, one at a time. Hips stay on the floor. Squeeze the heels together 3 times. Inner thigh squeeze. And then release the knees, release the feet. Tummy tight. Curl the toes under. Tighten up the knees. Squeeze in the heels. Squeeze. Squeeze. Release the heels. Release the knees, release the feet. Last time. Toes under. Heels, knees off, Heels in. Toes light. 3. Hold, 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 hold. Release the heels, release the knees, release the feet. Shell stretch. Breathe deeply. Just for fun, I'm going to use my hog back stretcher under my feet. It's just quite comfortable, basically. It's pleasant. Very useful if you have problems with your knees and you can't bend them very far. It's handy to have your feet raised up a little bit. It could be anything that's stable, really. You could have yoga block or two. You could even manoeuvre yourself so that your feet are on a step, carpeted step, hopefully. And you can even do it up against a wall. So you can do shoulder bridge up against a wall with your feet pressing against the wall instead of pressing down on the floor. Yeah? So there's lots of ways you can do shoulder bridge, including having your feet on a prickly hedgehog. Breathe in to prepare into the ribs. As you breathe out, tilt the pelvis, roll up your spine, roll up, roll up, roll up, and roll it down. Obviously, there are all the additional variations which we've tried before. Squeezing something between your knees. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Roll down. There's also arm work. So you could start off rolling up and then lift your arms. Just be careful. Don't take your arms too far such that your weight goes into your neck. Particularly if you're on a flat platform, you're a little bit higher, so the elevation, the angle is a little bit more steep, and it could mean the weight going into your neck. You must avoid that. Okay, so it's got to go no higher than your shoulders, so just be careful as far as that feels safe and comfortable. And then roll down, and then bring your arms down. Roll up. Another option is as you roll down, you bring your arms up, and as you roll up, you bring your arms out. It's quite satisfying. You can do that with weights in your hands as well, so that's quite fun. Roll down, roll up. The main thing is a good pelvic mobilisation, opening up of your lower back, using your core, using your glutes. Those are the important elements of the shoulder bridge. Add-ons are great as long as they don't distract from that main important aim of the move. So finish off, roll up, roll up, roll up. Hamstring stretch. other leg. I'm circling my toe. And I'll have to take my word for it. And I'm just going to rock a little bit from side to side, just to ease out the lower back. Do a few more circles as well. Okay. Roll over onto your side. Walk your hands back. Curl the toes under. Push your bottom up. Heels down. Roll up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Give yourself a clap. See you next time.